Hello, folks. Oh man, I'm tired today. It's one of those days where I've come in here without anything specific to talk to you about because I've said time and time again. How much longer 5 by 5 will continue, I don't know. I may have to modify it down the road because 5 minutes a day is a long time. But I'm not, that's not concrete yet. I'm determined not to give up on it just yet. There are a lot of things in our lives that are a little bit difficult at the moment, and complications, and there are a lot of ways that it could go that would make this thing a little bit more streamlined and easy. So, I'm not going to quit on it yet. There'll be more interesting things to talk about when stuff starts happening. So, we'll see. At the moment, a lot of things happen. It's mainly because I don't organise my day properly that it comes to the end of the day, and I think, sometimes when you get something to talk about, that's when it happens earlier on in the day. But when I have one of these where I'm just rambling endlessly about nothing in particular, it's when I've not organised my day really well. It's completely my fault, and I've left this until the last minute. So, then it's all a bit of a panic, and I'm trying to do it around things that Amki is doing and the little one's wanting attention. So I'm like, well, I'm just going to go in here, and it's like, well, it only takes me 5 minutes to record it usually if I know what I'm going to talk about. But then I have to import it and make sure it's edited to exactly the right length, so it's no more than 5 minutes and 5 minutes and 5 seconds tops. And then render that out, which only takes 10 minutes or so, and then upload it to YouTube, which takes another 10-15 minutes to do that. So it's more than 5 minutes a day. It was initially supposed to be just 5 minutes a day that I could upload, but of course, even though I am trying to keep it simple, it's not that simple. It's a difficult thing to do. This was supposed to be there to make sure it only stayed 5 minutes, and then I uploaded it immediately to YouTube. But I colour outside the lines too much with the stuff. It's like, this is the simple box that you've got to keep it in to make sure it only takes that much time. Sometimes there's a reason to colour inside the lines. I know we all like to think that we're artistic little snowflakes and all of us are very, very different than everybody else, but it's just not true. I'm having actually a bit of a... Today I'm having a bit of an issue with one of my children. I'm not going to go into any greater detail than that, except to say that one of the things I kind of picked up on, I think, was that he's kind of unhappy about, I guess, conformity. I guess it does come down to that a bit. People being made to feel like the thing that they spend their time on is a waste of time, whereas the thing that another person complaining about it is spending their time on is not so much of a waste of time. And I always use the analogy that, once upon a time, people would spend their time out in the fresh air. They'd be bicycling, or they'd be drinking tea in parlours, or going to the theatre, or whatever the hell it was that the upper class in particular did, and, middle class or lower class, if they had any free time in the working class, which they probably didn't, but any time that they did, spent at home building a fence or whatever. Anyway, and then when people started to get more free time, when the working class people started to get more free time to spend, they'd spend it hiking or, going to the seaside and stuff like that, when people really started to get free time for themselves. And, so then people who would read all the time, they'd be locked in their bedroom reading all the time or something like that, would be considered people who were wasting their lives. You're just reading all the time. Nowadays, or in the generation in between, people that watch TV or movies all the time and weren't reading all the time, the people who were then reading all the time would complain to them that they were wasting their lives. Why aren't you reading all the time, or going out and hiking or whatever? And then the people who spent most of their life watching TV, now there's kids playing video games, and they're like, well, why are you wasting your life? What is a waste of time and what is not is purely subjective, right? Unless you can honestly say, I am changing the political future of my country for the better. Every day I go out there and I change policies and I make policies that save lives, or, I'm spending my spare time building schools for poor children in third world countries that don't have access to books and that can't read, or I'm building I'm digging freshwater wells for children in this country, or whatever. Unless you can say those things Waste of time is subjective.